Be welcome to this sanctuary. Amadi is I in the storm.
Wished, bonny bird, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
A young man in oversized armor paces around a table covered with a spread of maps. His face at times.
Every approach blocked. Oh, damn it. What
He glances up. In quick succession, he becomes aware of both your presence and the fact that you're not.
Who the blazes are you? Ifan, eh? On the run, seeker can always recognize a sorcerer when they see one.
The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed.
You meant Verdus. Then he's as good as dead. We're the seekers he spoke of. We were supposed to free him. Instead, we've... You, a godwoken. Surely not. Though if Verdus... You could be important. But there's no way to be certain until we've left this blasted island behind us.
The young man anxiously fidgets with his curved bow. You've found a matter close to his heart.
That's easier said than done. The Magisters have us cornered. They have these weapons called Shriekers. If we try to go against them unprepared, we're dead. We've lost many already. They were sorcerers once, but after after we retreated here, our leader, Sir Gareth, set out looking, but he hasn't returned. If Sir Gareth does, you'll help her.
His shoulders visibly relax.
Thank you. Allies are in short supply in this place. Please ask. Whatever help. We keep the ideals of Lucian the Divine alive. We came to free an elf called Verdus from Fort Joy. He was a godwoken. He could have... Well, before there's a divine, there must be a godwoken. Only... And on top of everything, someone seems to be killing what few godwoken there are. It must be Alexander. A failed Sir Gareth? He's the finest none. He set out to find those source weapons, and that's the last we saw of him. The masked priestess, Gratiana, told Sir Gareth of them after she granted us shelter here. She was reluctant. Speak to her if you wish. She may know more.
He narrows his eyes, yet doesn't say anything.
The Magister flagship, the Lady Vengeance, she's anchored at the old harbour. Once the way is clear where to take her...
The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er
Sir
us,
Gareth,
you're safe.
did you find any sign of him?
So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
Please, Amadi, bless and protect your humble servant.
Wished, bonny bairn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
Please, Amadi, bless and protect your humble servant.
Smoke and screams, echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Wisht, bonny barn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed.
In their time of need,
So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee
and
head.
see them safe.
Smoke and screams, echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Wisht, bonny barn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
They found us. Found him. Would never stop.
Wisht, bonny barn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and
Maybe we
rest
should
your
fortify
head.
this place. Make
You
us
are
stand.
floating.
No,
You were a
no,
genius.
not at the time. Think, damn it. Gareth would know what to do. Sir Gareth, did you find any sign of him?
Mother of Majesty, hear my prayer. Protect these poor souls in their time of need. I pray
Smoke
that you
and screams,
and see
echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Wisht, bonny barn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
Mother of Majesty, hear my prayer.
They found us.
Wish, bonny barn, now don't
Would
you
never
cry.
stop.
The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your head.
screams, echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Wisht, bonny barn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head. Bonny barn, now don't you cry.
Found him.
The birds
Sir
are
Gareth,
asleep.
did you find any sign of him?
The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your head.
A dwarf stands by.
Blood and bone.
Hush now, Leia. They'll not hurt you once Gareth gets back. We're go-
The woman rubs her neck, raking her nails across her skin as she whimpers. The dwarf starts at the sound of your voice, gripping the.
New faces. Hope you aren't. As for her neck, she's remembering. Lucky for us, she had the skills to remove them. There's many a sorcerer that's been freed thanks to her.
The dwarf smiles.
Aye, we are at that.
He strokes her hair as Leia leans her forehead against his shoulder, muttering quietly about Gareth.
I pray that
We were part of the caravan headed to Fort Joy, but now he's off searching for weapons to take down them shriekers. And all we can do is sit here, thinking about the Godwoken we didn't save.
From fragments to whole. From their past to us.
She ain't detailed, but she ain't wrong. The Godwoken are someone to replace Lucian and push back them Voidwoken. There's ways, but I ain't privy to 'em. One thing I do know, mind. The Voidwoken have their
Barking dogs in wolves' clothing. Teeth in the sea.
Aye, there's enough of them about. But don't you worry none. Gareth will be back soon. Then we'll be part of the caravan headed to Fort Joy. But now he's...
The dwarf starts to sing softly as the woman rocks slowly in her seat.
I pray that
Duggan
you
stands over Leia, singing soft.
There, lass.
Before you stands.
Amadia's blessings, child. I have not seen this face in our as are so many. I am Gratiana, priestess of Amadia. It is a privilege to welcome you.
She pauses for a moment before.
We must always strive to help those who suffer. For many years
Despite the mask, you can feel her.
Time is a river, ever slipping by. In this place I can worship the goddess Amadia and help those who come to me for aid. I live a good life. The person that I was is dead.
The woman freezes in place.
It was nothing. Simply a turn of phrase. Nothing more. You know nothing. Nothing of my life. Nothing.
She turns away from you in a swirl of robes. As your hand wraps around her arm, your fingers squeeze down, not on skin.
No! Don't touch me! Let me go! Intention is worthless when actions cause harm. All I asked was to be left in peace.
She flinches slightly when you mention her true self.
This mask is the last vestige of humanity that remains. The only thing that renders me fair to my people. Have you learned nothing of those that wear them? They will not accept me. No, the most I can hope for is grace. And I have that by Amadia's. Does this swamp cause madness in all living flesh? Their leader. I told him of Brachus's cache of soul-forged weapons, arms not even the shriekers could. I fear for these souls, if he has come to any harm in the marsh. Without the wands he seeks, not one will he set off north, to the ruins of Brachus's source armory, but there is walk ever in our... Hello again, child. What brings you? We must always strive to help those who suffer. For many years, you are bound on one side by marshes filled with all else is sea. But you will find no boat that will aid you. The goddess provides. She led me to this shrine. It was not always thus. This swamp was once a he is no more. He ruled this realm as these marshes were a playground for he and his Brachus was a horror of that there indeed. Without something more powerful than these sticks the Seekers are armed with, those crucified monstrosities will kill them to a man. Twice today I've heard those words. Their leader, Gareth, I told him of Brachus's. I fear for these souls, if he has come to any harm in the marsh. Walk ever in a...
A grim-faced man sifts through a pile of badly damaged weapons, salvaging the repairable, ditching the broken. He holds the damaged blade up to the light.
This was Halorn's blade. It was his first. It was also his last. He didn't intend to die here. What did Halorn believe in? He believed in truth. He believed in hope. He believed that Alexander is a killer of Godwoken.
The point breaks away, leaving a jagged edge. The sword is shorter now, but it'll do more damage.
Who are you?
He realizes, to his surprise, that he holds the weapon in his hand. He works fast, checking weapons.
The blade is thirsty. Nice doing business with you. I wish I had better wares to offer.
Mother of magic, hear my prayer. Protect these poor souls in their time of need. I pray that you ease them. And
They even knew that much, but still.
You tried your best, Hannah.
You're alive! Wasn't sure you would be. Samadel, this is the one I told you.
The dishevelled lizard eyes you with hope.
Han tells me you helped him out of Fort Joy. For that, you have my thanks.
We helped each other. That's what sorcerers...
Can I ask if... Did you happen to meet a man named Gareth on your way here?
He'll be back.
He has to, indeed. We need... Have you...
Han looks down with a flinch.
They're weapons that can kill with a screech. The priestess at the shrine told Gareth some aid you're kind to offer. Now...
Catch you later, Skipper.
Save your strength.
The young woman chews her lower lip. She bends to grab a rag, wiping her blood.
If you're looking for healing, sorcerer, well, there's not much I can do.
The woman wrings the blood.
Magisters aren't known for their mercy. Many of us died. And the ones here will likely follow the same fate, by a slower road. The Magisters sank our ship. Then we ran into more of them on the shore. They're these wretched beings mounted on crucifixes. They nearly wiped us out with a single blow. We fled. Those of us who still... I've done all I can. Their wounds are too great. All I can offer them now is prayer and a cup of water. If you know a way, I'd be beyond grateful. A few hours ago, that might have helped. Look at their pallor. Only magic. All I've got is my own two hands.
She trails off and limply gestures to her paltry make.
I'm not even a healer. Ours was killed in the attack. Do what you will. Just... Lord, turn your head if you can hear me.
My Lucian's locks. Stop fidgeting me.
Matis,
In an instant. Thank you. The Magister flagship. It has ballastay that tore our ship into kindling. I'm lucky the others managed to haul me all the way here.
He shudders at the memory.
They turn the living into shriekers. You wouldn't be in such a hurry if you saw the kind.
He shudders at the...
I wish I had a fitting way to thank the person who saved my life.
Cheated death. Thank you, stranger.
My Lucian's
Matis, let me change your dress.
It's
I will not be a murderer. Leave me be. You healed me. How did you... Oh, never mind.
I don't remember much. I barely had time to realize a lot of what happened was a blur after I was hit. But those Magisters are gonna pay in blood.
He nods.
A lot of what happened was a blur after I was hit. But those Magisters are gonna pay in...
If my mother were here, she'd box my ears for not being able to thank you properly. Though I reckon that wallop...
Make sure all of them cheat death today.
I'm alive!
And how do you have so much power?
You've healed us. All of us. I owe you a debt. The Magisters attacked our camp back at the harbour. I caught one of their arrows right in my side. That would have been a...
He lands a comradely slap on your back.
Don't you doubt it. This old war serpent's still got some fight left in him. Especially now.
You should see the other guy. What's left of him, anyway.
They're gonna be all right.
The fog is lifting.